This is Granny Maggie from Granny Magic. Many different people ask me, how do you really get started on your spiritual path? How do you find that path? You start with yourself. And I think sometimes we know what it is that stirs our passions in our heart, what we feel drawn to. For many of us, it's nature. Uh, Trees, plants speak to many people. Working with herbs. Other people have always found themselves drawn to rocks, which seem inanimate to many people, but seem alive to them. They're drawn to working with crystal energy. Some of us are drawn to fire, candle magic, bonfires, controlled bonfires. Some of us are more intellectual in our approaches. And there are people who really enjoy studying and developing their own personal spiritual theology. There are gifted people who move spirit through music. There's so many ways spiritual energy speaks to us. And once you're aware of that, that's where you start. You start where your heart is. And many of you are aware that one of the things I love the most is to encourage people to work with a pendulum, to start opening up those psychic gifts, beginning with oracle cards or tarot, tapping into something beyond. And one of the reasons I especially like to do that is the main energy we're working with in witchcraft day to day is our own energy. The crystals, the herbs, the things that we use as tools, they boost our energy. They also affect our energy. They help us transform it to the state that we would like it to be in. They help us to transform the spaces in which we live. But there's something higher to work with, and that's spirits and energy from the other side. These spirits are not in another place. They're basically here with us. It's more of a different dimension. Some people talk about it as being a higher vibrational frequency. But the spirits that inhabit our homes and our spaces, our yards, the land that we live on, our ancestors, the ancestral energy that supports us, even when we don't know who those ancestors are. I very much encourage people to go beyond fire, herbs, crystals, the music, the things that are around us here in this dimension, and find a way to work with this higher spiritual energy. It goes beyond our energy. It is something that is of deep benefit to us. These spirits can aid us from the other side. They can teach us things. They can support us by giving us signs to lead us on our path. So that's one reason I very much encourage people to do also dream work, pendulum work, working with different forms of divination. There's scrying methods. If you love fire, there's ways to scry with fire. But I strongly urge you to think about finding a way to open up to the energies of the spirit world, of the ones beyond us. Because once you bring them into your practice, your power is amplified, your knowledge, your support, everything goes to a new level. The simplest way to begin working with them, I think, is working with ancestors. Setting out a clean bowl of water, lighting a candle, and speaking to them from your heart, inviting them into your life, asking them to send you signs, to help lead you. Express gratitude They lived their life so that you could now live yours. Without them, you wouldn't be here. That's an easy place to start. Pendulums are another easy place to start because it flexes your psychic muscles and it sends the message out to the universe. I'm reaching out beyond myself. I'm looking to connect. I have questions. I'd like answers. I would like to open my mind. And so working with pendulums is a very strong, clear message that you're flexing your psychic muscles and you're inviting spirit energy in. The same with tarot cards. There are special pockets of energy that correspond to the archetypes of the different tarot cards in the major arcana. Even simply by meditating with those cards, you basically open a portal for that archetypal energy to start working in your life. None of this is simple. A lot of people have different ways of going about it. There's many different opinions. The most important opinion is yours. What speaks to your spirit? What helps you open up to the other side? That's what you should be pursuing. Everything else follows from that. At some point, if you'd like to have an altar is a working space that allows you to have this little sacred pocket of space and time. Usually when you approach your altar, you can feel that space and time altering a little bit for you. It becomes a liminal space, a space of open possibilities. It's a place where you can make offerings to and speak to ancestors. It's a place where you can let the universe know your needs and call in a spirit guide to help. Invite angels to also come in and send you signs. There's so many ways that an altar can serve you. It holds your intentions. You can put a bell on it. It's a reminder to clear your energy as you walk by. It can be a place where every day you read something that you've set out for yourself to set your magical and spiritual intentions for that day. And an altar doesn't have to look any particular way. Upstairs, where I do more formal kinds of magic, I have the elements marked. I have stones from a river that I absolutely feel connected to. And some stones wanted to come home with me. They were round and smooth. And my daughter took those stones and she was able to paint the signs of the 4 elements and their directions. And I placed these on the floor around my altar on the various compass points because when I'm there, I'm doing a more formal kind of magic. And I work with the elements and the directions, and I cast a circle. I have an altar in my kitchen, which is extremely informal. And that's a place where often I'll go just to light a little candle and to say a little intention and prayer for the day as I start out. I have a working altar near my tarot table where often I have things symbolizing prayers and energy that I'm sending out for people. It's more of a public altar that's visible from my front door. And it's, in a sense, the hearth of my home, even though it's not in the kitchen. It's where I think of my spirit fire burning and lighting up a space in my home creates a center for me. So there's a lot of different ways to use an altar. But I think these are basic ways to get your practice started and to get it rooted within your home and within your own personal energy. And at that point, it's interesting and fun to branch out and to think about learning other things to see where it takes you. But to start, it's very, very simple. You don't need a lot of equipment or tools. You don't even need a lot of outside knowledge. So that's my message for you today, for those who are wanting to really start on a path, to really start awakening that spiritual energy. Find the things here in the horizontal level. What in the earth, what around you speaks to you? And then look at the vertical center. How can spirit help you? What are the kinds of things you're looking to identify with spirit for? Are you looking for an archetypal energy that you would like to use as a role model or a blueprint for your current spiritual life on the path that you're on? Are you looking for ancestors to guide you and to walk behind you? Are you looking for a spirit guide to help lead you on, to take you to new places perhaps, to give you words of wisdom and support? And then think about where these two, where the vertical and the horizontal meet. And that's kind of going to probably form the crux of your practice. So those are just kind of random thoughts that came to me today that I really wanted to share, because so many of you want some outside authority to step in, or feel that you need a huge divine sign. You are the divine sign. You're a child of the universe. The universe, your ancestors, everything conspired together to give you life. You are a miracle of the universe. You are your own sign. So fearlessly move ahead. Many blessings as you move and think about this spiritual journey that you want to begin. This is Granny from Granny Magic.